let's go top line analysis of AI right now.
AI is a glorified Google search, but you cannot disrespect a glorified Google search. A glorified Google search is God amazing.
His glory.
It's amazing. It's God tier. Because Google search is like beyond God tier. Hey, do you keep up with like AI stuff?
This is yet another thing where I don't want to do my research.
Apparently, right now Google is better than.
Oh, I heard about
Gemini's
that.
better than ChatGPT.
Yeah, and then on LinkedIn, Altman was like, "It's code red. We got to pause and just focus on the main, LLM." Yeah.
Okay, so you know that's something interesting to keep watch of, which is the profitability.
Because of the energy
they,
usage.
They just can't. Yeah, OpenAI is like they can't make money. They can't. They're going into like gaming. They're going into like weird shit. So like apparently like with the people who like are in the know, they call Sora like a tremendous failure. Like AI heads go like, whoa, Sora, look how amazing! Oh, we can make anime fights, right? But then like people who like think about it a little bit carefully, they're like, it was actually a huge failure because nobody actually fucking uses that platform. They just repost, they just make it there and they repost it on like YouTube. So the platform's not getting any traffic, and then no one's like spending any money. So like
So all of the data is going into Google.
It's all just being siphoned now. But like that's in general like the problem with AI right now, right? It's weird, yeah. And then like Google apparently Gemini is like a lot cheaper than OpenAI. That's another problem that they have. I think Google just like has way more resources where they could just starve.
Well, Google, I feel like it's just they have like a good baseline.
Yeah, they have a good
of like mission of like the world's like whatever data, right,
just everything.
And yeah, it's they're just pivoting the technology or sort of methodology by which their mission is accomplished.
Okay, anyway, back to AI. Let's just talk more about spirituality.
Okay.
AI. One thing I need to like know is like how it's impacting like students. Like how are schools dealing with it? So did you ever see that skit like on social media?
Which one?
It's like oh god, what was the analogy? Fuck. Oh yeah, it was a what's the drumming movie?
Drumline?
No.
Whiplash.
Whiplash. It's a Whiplash parody.
Not quite my tempo.
Yeah. So in the beginning, it's like a young like happy kid, and then he's like,
Oh, I've seen it. And he's like, it's like the answer's not good. Like
yeah, he keeps like
slapping.
Yeah, later on he keeps slapping it because like he's like it's not like
It's not like
enough.
human. Yeah.
So like right now in university that has to be an issue, right? Like
I think
over 50% of the essays right now being written have to be fake.
No, so
what the fuck's going on?
Okay. Let me actually play this out. So I don't think it can fool. I don't know how they can have proof, but I don't think it can fool a graduate student or professor who's grading like an essay who actually reads the essay.
Okay. Now, let's say they do read the essay, then they don't get fooled.
Yeah.
On what basis can they even call that out? That's
what I just said.
We either go to court.
I literally said that. I said literally, I don't know how they deal with it, but I know they won't be fooled. So the second thing they have to do is instill fear of you're going to be expelled if we find out. So to prevent, it's like a prevention. So we have tools that it runs through. If we find out, then blah blah blah. Now that's where students will have to find out, is that a legit threat? I think it's like, that's kind of where that game goes. You could also do what we did at my high school, which is the essays written in class,
right,
in some sort of software, or you write it by hand. We wrote it by hand, like 13 pages by hand. So that's how you can get around that. And then also it's, as a broader whole, is education evolving where it's going to be like the calculator, where it's just like...
Okay, so that's what I want to talk about, because does it really matter if the students fake the essay through ChatGPT? Does that even really matter? I think you could easily argue no.
No, so
The smart students will use ChatGPT well to fake a essay well, and then the retards will do a shitty job of faking the essay and like get caught, or like the essay will be look stupid. And something will still,
I think all that
you know?
I think what universities have to do is be able to test the students, the fact that the students can think and or like listened or like actually like learned. Now what they learn may more and more like whittle down, and it might actually just end up truly going back to the core, which is, can you critically think? I think that's like you know, that's like where it has to go to, because there's no point there's quote unquote no point in like memorizing stuff. I think in the STEM fields, maybe you still like, you need to be able to process in the moment when you like, you're not gonna every time someone does something, you like trust the computer to identify what the symptom is. Maybe you could like, oh, fever 101, like whatever, but I don't know, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but I think even that's all bullshit that's gonna be figured out that it's bullshit and then removed.
Okay,
Like-
so then it's just
like-
it's just a matter of time then. So to me,
Yeah, it's
all
just a matter of time.
okay, so to me, all that matters is, does humanity value critical thinking in a human? That's all that matters. If you strip everything away, okay, here's an example. You know about this. We talked about this. So
They kind of don't though. It only does in like, there's like 10 things above critical thinking that I would say is more useful for general success in life. You know, like being responsible, like being timely, being responsible, showing up, being kind, being likable, actually having the dedication to finish the work.
sure, but I think one
critical
of the
thinking's ranked like 12.
no, but I think if you go to college, one of the values of going to college is critical thinking. It can be that's like a, if there's a, then don't go to college. If
That's why I think college.
Yeah, so don't go to
we're
college
all gonna
then.
find out it's useless.
Yeah, but you're talking about, the question was about university. So if it's about university, then it's about critical thinking, if you value that. Now, I value, like, the reason I value it is, if you don't, then you're effectively saying we can just outsource all of our lives to the computer. That's what you mean by, I don't want to critically think, to me. The future of humanity is, I'm going to unplug my thinking, and then it's just in this machine.
That's probably going to be largely true.
Yeah. So I'm not saying that if that is or isn't, but I'm saying I'm saying, do we want to do that? And then you're saying from an angle of, we have no choice, it's going to go there.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's basically the bottom line.
I think I can tell you where I was finally impressed with AI. Because I'm not impressed with the image generation. I like whatever. I don't give a shit about that. Because my whole thing is, I always, at least now.
Okay, wait, no. I'm gonna take over this conversation because I've been meaning to talk to you about this. Okay. When I read your AI generation output,
Okay.
I feel like AI is trying really hard to tell you what you want to hear. It's literally like catering to your own needs and ego to tell you exactly what you want to hear for you to like it.
So I'm aware of that. So what I do is, anytime it gives me that, I give it feedback. I say, but this happened, which wouldn't this be posed as a negative? Isn't this a thing that I should be self-aware about? Like I add that stuff in when it's overly trying to, you're spot on, Stephen Choi. That's ridiculous. Okay, but you know what I'm saying? So I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I'm self-aware about that. And it is biased towards that, right? What I wanted to say related to that is, I feel like I'm pretty 9 times out of 10, I can articulate just by writing what I want to write, it's gonna nuance be better. Like that meme we were talking about, where it's slapping the ChatGPT, right?
You don't think that if the other party posted that same data into their own ChatGPT, that their output would be like, Steven is clearly showing signs of being a spoiled, lazy American. Like, he clearly needs to learn,
It could, but
you know?
I believe that I believe what it's telling me is the truth, closer to the truth than what the other party is. You know what I'm saying? Because living through life, that aligns with what I believe is true, at least based on the data I have currently, my experience. So 99 times out of 100, I can write it, in my self-delusionment better than AI to get the exact nuanced point for this exact situation to this person across. Excuse me. Now, there was where it scared me and it was better and good was that example where I was dealing with a narcissist and, as is in our YouTube algorithm now, like narcissism, it's like they're just trying to get something to grab onto to manipulate or shame or fear or whatever based on if you give them something to latch onto. But if you don't give them anything and you're very neutral and you give very short answers or whatever, they can't react. Okay? They can't spin it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the situation that the narcissist gave me was so it was literally like 99 situations where I couldn't think of how to perfectly respond to avoid getting the narcissist claw into my back. And so I gave that scenario to ChatGPT and it gave me literally, when I read the answer, I was like, oh my God, this is like I could have never hit that exact narrow thing.
Yeah. It went through like the perfect.
So that was impressive. But the thing is as of this moment, I'm still in control because I was able to pinpoint and be self-aware that there's so many layers that had to go on for me to get to that point, which is I had to know that guy's a narcissist. I had to know that I have a propensity to give the narcissist ammo to attack me. I had to be able to articulate like the situation and the potential things I'm concerned about. I had to like all these things and then pose exactly what I'm afraid of and then read it and then judge that, oh, I don't see any gap. Like all of that is like critical thinking and self-awareness and these other values that I have that let me be able to take advantage of AI in that moment. Now, is all that going to go away? I don't know. I don't know at what point, I don't know.
So let's talk about psychology for a quick minute.
Okay.
So this is why people say that the only way to respond to a narcissist is to walk away, right?
Okay.
Because when the narcissist battlefield, or not field, arena, the narcissist battle arena is like this.
Okay.
Now, does that help you in your life? Is it beneficial to go through these exercises
with narcissists?
Yeah, rather than just
it's beneficial to me.
Like
I think it puts. Oh, okay. Continue. I have my thoughts, but
yeah, go ahead.
I think it paints a lot of. One, I learned a lot about myself that I'm like so obvious to a narcissist on like what they need to do to motivate me. So I learned about myself.
That's deep.
Okay. And then two, it made me reframe a lot. It made me go through my entire life, my map of my entire life of all the people I knew, and then map this concept of narcissism across all of them and then see like if I was actually being manipulated. So in that regard, that archetype that let me sort of apply it across my life and then reanalyze my life of like, oh, okay, like That's why that was so like I dealt with that, or that's how they got me to do, So in that regard, I think I'm not saying everyone should go through it, but for me, it helped. Like at least because I'm at a point where I can process that.
See, I feel like you're gonna waste your training.
If I don't leave the narcissist?
No, like you have to become a narcissist. You have to become that because you
I'm
got
not-
you got all this training and knowledge, and now you're not even gonna use it to dominate others. Like
it's
you
not
gotta
about
use that
it's
shit.
not about
You're just playing defense.
no, it's not about. Okay, I'm gonna break this answer apart. It's not about becoming a narcissist. It's about integrating the concepts of humanity that you've learned from dealing with a narcissist in your everyday life. Now, I don't think I could ever become a narcissist because it's not an optimal game to be a narcissist. Because let me tell you this. So the narcissist that I dealt with randomly when we were getting close told me that there are times in life where there's ebbs and flows in relationships where all of a sudden where you were like best friends before, and then all of a sudden life changes and you just no longer talk. And when he said that, I'm like, I get it, but that usually happens. I know natural paths like that, but that's such a random thing to say to me right now. And it triggered something in my head, and I just kind of stored it. But what I realize is because if you're a narcissist, more often than not, your relationships don't. It happens every relationship.
Happens every relationship.
And you have to reset. Okay, now, or move, or like figure a new circle, or new people to manipulate, right? And then some people never escape that, so they're just forever in your circle of doom, right? So the reason I could never become a narcissist is because narcissism is driven from it's not something that the person controls, and it comes from a soul or something where they have to behave that way to live their life based on how they feel inside. But then I don't feel like that, so it'd be very incongruent for me to like be a narcissist. Now I'll probably do things I learned from the narcissist, like actions in certain situations against certain people to like optimize myself, but I don't think spiritually I would be doing that against like everyone. Like, I think there'd be people where I could do that, and in that moment I could exploit, but the exploitation risk against myself I would not pull that lever. So I've integrated, that shadow into me, but I don't think I would like become that shadow.
Yeah, I mean, you play the opposite game, ironically.
Which is
permanence over temporary.
oh, sure. Yeah.